So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. Before we went on a break, I told you that the show is a bit different today because we're having a company today instead of like a person to talk about themselves. We have a company here and a representative to talk about a new initiative that they have in the Gambia. With me here today, I have Mr. Osman Jai of Comfort Qualities, and he's the operations manager. Mr. Jai, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's an honor that you are here. Finally, we're doing this.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
We have a lot. I'm sure you have a lot to share.
Yes,
just briefly tell us more about what you do in Comfort, for starters, so that the viewers would know who you are.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, viewers. Comfort Quality Services, basically, it's a Gambian-owned company. We won the contract to produce aluminium number plates and QR codes. So what we normally do as Comfort, we came up with an electronic vehicle management system because for a long period of time, Gambians were actually receiving their vehicles from customs and the port, and then they were given GRA receipts, but without actual printed number plates.
Right.
So we've got a lot of actually side businesses that were actually printing number plates for vehicles, and it wasn't controlled. And most of the entries that were done, it was done manually. So basically, it was paperwork that was put in a file and could be stored anywhere. So if the need arises to actually fetch information that is really vital to whatever it is that information the police need with regards to the security of the vehicles is involved in any situation, it was kind of a challenge for the police. So they also came up with an idea that they wanted aluminium number plates.
Right.
And with it, there's supposed to be an electronic system. So, and it's up to the companies that actually bid it for during the tender to come up with something really impressive.
Wow.
So that's what Comfort luckily won, not luckily, but I think deservedly won the contract. And it took a lot of thought to actually come up with the system that we have in place. It's integrated with a system. It works on an Linux operating system, which is very secure. And the actual vehicle management system is broad. There's a lot of things that we can do with it. As of now, we're only doing the aluminium number plates and the QR codes. And there's a lot of information we capture from the custom receipts, the reference numbers, and then actually we have a form that you fill in when you come to actually do your vehicle registrations. And our system is done in a way that number plates won't be duplicated. And with the number plate printed and the QR sticker, what that will do is every vehicle that is captured, because the color of the vehicle is captured, the chassis number, and the make, the model, and then the owner's details as well. It's all captured in this QR code. So all the police have to do is just scan it, and then they will have the information. Then they can look at the registration number to see if it tallies with the QR code. So that's the system we've come in. I'm sure I'll go into more in details about
Actually, you've said a lot of things that I have a lot to pick on for us to delve deeper into. Obviously, what you're doing is well organized and is well thought after, and obviously, we've all seen that somehow the response have been very good. But just for the layman, as a Gambian, a lot of us, when you hear the name Comfort, the natural mineral water company comes to your head.
Yes.
So I was actually a bit confused when I heard Comfort, because Gambia is small and brands, sometimes when they're doing so good, they stand out out there. So what was the transition? Is it the same Comfort company transitioning into this, or what is it? 'Cause just so we understand that.
Yeah, Comfort Quality Service has been there from initiation, from 1994. It's just the unfortunate, what people maybe didn't understand was, is it has different branches of businesses that it ventured into, but it was all under one umbrella of Comfort Quality Services. So there was aluminium, there's aluminium being done, that they used to do the windows and stuff like that, and then they ventured into production. There's factory of drinks and water.
I never knew that.
It used to be supplied all the way to Casamas, Guinea-Bissau. So this is a company that has actually been serving the Gambian people for a long time. And it's strictly Gambian. We employ only Gambians, basically. And from
Is that not biased?
it's not biased. If we have anyone else here with the expertise that we require,
Yeah.
so basically you have to be resident in Gambia for us to employ
Of course,
you. So
yes. That
it can
makes
be any
sense.
nationality, to be honest. So
It's
maybe,
fair. You might want
to. But okay, but the company actually has been serving the Gambian people for a long time. The MD of the company, Mr. Suleiman Cisse, I believe he has already contributed his quota to national development for 5 years ago.
Wow.
So he's still doing it, and he has a vision. Because like I explained to you, vehicle management system, there's so many things that can be added. You have the insurance part and the GRA, and because the GRA lose a lot of revenue with regards to the vehicles and whatever it is that goes on. So we can help them accurately track the revenue of vehicles that are actually motorcycles that are actually entering the company and people that have paid and haven't paid. Even with the tax disc that is displayed, we can find a way to interlink, and all this system will be on a uniform system that can be controlled. So from the police to the customs and to everywhere, any other for the insurance details as well, it can all be captured under one information, because we just roll the dice to start with. But where this is going, I'm sure
a lot of
our kids and grandkids will be here to enjoy the
pick
benefits
up and
of
run
this.
with it. It sounds, when you explain it, it sounds very straightforward and easy, yet I think it's a bit more complex as well. It sounds a bit complex. But then I've learned that you've started this operation with the aluminium number plates 5 months ago, since September. So just quickly before we go on a break, of course we're going to discuss when we come back, how has the past 5 months been for Comfort Qualities?
It has been challenging, because anything that's new comes with hitches on the way and stuff like that, but gradually, it's a gradual process. So we have 5 years to go, so we've only done 5 months, so we have 4 years, 7 months left. So every day we're learning new things. The way we started, operationally, we have to shape ourselves properly. We have to create a system that actually will make us operating and producing these number plates effectively, and for the customer that is actually coming to get a number plate. So at least we'll create an environment and a service for them that they'll be happy with the product. One, the quality has to be there, and the security aspect of it, and the importance of having it. So basically, the government of Gambia will actually be like, you know what, everyone in Gambia has to have this new number plate, because it will all be captured in a system that the police will be in control of, and I think that will increase safety on the roads and for pedestrians as well. So hit and runs, because hit and runs were occurring regularly in Gambia.
Last year was bad.
Yes. And in November, we even had a situation where there was a hit and run driver involved with, but that vehicle unfortunately had our number plate on. So the police, all they did was call us, gave us the details of the number plate of the vehicle, and the guy was captured within a day. So all we had to do was just put it in, and then because we have your vehicle details, the owner's details. Gambia is not mapped out properly in regards to addresses, but at least we can tell that so and so lives in this particular area. This is his number, and then police might have other means to be able to trace that person. So, which is very important, actually.
It's very important, and it's very interesting. We're going to go for a short break. When we come back, we're going to discuss more. But the next question I'm going to ask, and I want you to think about it right now before we come back, is why aluminium? We're going for a break. We'll be right back.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome back to the show. If you're just joining us, I have here Mr. Osman Jai, Operations Manager at Comfort Qualities. And we're talking about the number plate, the new number plating, the aluminium number plating, of course, and the feedback they've been getting and where they want to go with it, and some of the formalities and the steps that they're into at the moment, just for your information. So before we went on a break, I asked you, why aluminium? Why aluminium?
Okay, thank you. Aluminium basically is you have to look at the durability aspect of it. Because I'm sure you will see a lot of vehicles that actually imported from Germany, and most of Europe, they use aluminium plates. And we actually give it the Gambian people the same quality as they use in Europe. Because our supplier, the manufacturer, and the supplier that we source out our plates from, they're actually ISO certified and DIN.
And DIN, I actually have that here. I was going to ask you.
Yes, so, and these are, DIN is actually a higher spec than the ISO. So we have a company here now that can produce the highest quality of number plates for us to give to the Gambian
So
people.
just so they know, the ISO is the International Organization for Standardization.
Standardization, yes. So basically that's a standard you have to adhere to for your product to be able to be viable to sell to a certain market or to a certain group. So, and we've actually sourced out a company that actually does a level higher than ISO, which is the DIN, which is the German certification of Institution of Certification, which is they're very strict and they make sure that their products are actually, it is what it says. So basically, that's what we're giving the Gambian people as well. It costs a lot of money, the investment, because we have to import all these plates all from Germany. And on top of that, but we just want the Gambian people to have a product that will last. And even because the white background also that we came up with,
it's very visible.
It's very good because at night, I'm sure the number plates can be visible from a distance. And basically that means that easy identification, so in case anything happens. But there's a lot more that we do, because as a company, as a Gambian company, the previous place that we have here, you all know is plastic. After a while with the sun and the heat and everything, and then you see, and then the numbers fade, and then it's very hard to trace. So now we have a barcode, we have a QR sticker that is stuck on the windscreen with a code in it. And then we have the number plate to go with. So the visibility aspect of it is there. And then the security aspect of scanning the QR sticker with the police. We've actually supplied 100 scanners to the police.
Wow.
And with that being said, so all the road traffic officers you need to do is just scan the plate, scan the sticker, and then the information is there for them.
I was there at your the press release you had last week, and when you were explaining in the demonstrations, we have images of it for our viewers as well to have a look at. I thought that was very, very, very fascinating. You know, it was very fascinating. So, the ISO and the DIN, how did you guys come to choose that, and why these two different?
Okay, well, what you have to realize is the managing director actually had the pleasure of living in Germany for most of his life. Okay. Before he actually decided to come back to Gambia and invest. So he has connections with regards to number plates. Okay. So, and he knows the quality of number plates that is required. Because he was fortunate enough to he was approached by a company in Senegal about this number plates business. So he had the pleasure of going to Germany with them, so he knew exactly what he wanted and what he would be giving to the Gambian people. So when the opportunity came for a company of our magnitude to be able to actually delve into a number plate business, and then we know for a fact that we will provide something real quality for the Gambian people. And I think the Gambian people are really fortunate to have someone with that knowledge actually, because he's lived it, and for previous experience, he knows exactly what will work, and it's actually working, as you all can see. Right,
yeah. So was it possible to manufacture it here in the Gambia, or was it like...
Unless if you have an aluminium manufacturing plant, which you don't, there's nothing like that in Gambia. Not even Senegal. In Senegal, they have the same aluminium number plates, but they also import theirs, which is rather... But if that could have been possible here, I'm sure. Instead of sourcing, ordering from Germany, I'm sure if they can have it here and have the same quality, why not?
Yeah. The bidding process, it sounded like something that was very tedious. It's a long process of different stages.
It is.
Can you walk us through what you guys what comfort qualities had to meet to win the bid?
I think we have an issue in Gambia here. Because basically, when you bid for something and you'll have competitors and you're not fortunate enough to win it, I think what you should do, you should go back to the strategy that you applied to actually acquire a contract, revisit it, and then do your homework. So maybe there are future opportunities that you can actually bid for. But we have this notion of, if it's given to you, there must be something dodgy with it, which in actual fact, it wasn't the case. And if you had a press conference, I did explain in details with regards to, because the pieces...
Well, now you can explain it.
Now I can explain it better. Okay. The pieces that was on the tender, it actually says 60,000 pieces of number plates. That's an individual, and then 5,000 for motorcycles. Our price is quoted as being the most expensive, but we are actually one of the cheapest. Because how it works is, if you say 60,000 for pieces, and what we bidded for was $630 for a pair.
Okay. That's for the front and the back of either a car or a motorcycle.
So now, our competitors maybe the minimum bidder was for $500 for a single plate.
Okay.
So we bid it for a pair, so for 630.
Right.
So divided by 2, that's $315 is for one. So now that you multiply it by the pieces that's mentioned on the tender, it comes up to about 20 million.
Yes.
And then what we did, we added.
But that amount is huge.
It is
When I
huge.
saw that, I was like, I did for real. How did they make all this money?
No, it is it's an astronomical amount,
Oh, yeah,
basically,
it
if you
is.
look at it. But we had companies that bid 32 million.
Okay.
And then I'm sure maybe they should have been asked to explain how they came up with that figure.
That's a lot.
And we bid it for 20,550,000 around that. And then on top of that, and then with the motorcycle number plates as well. And then with that, we offer the BOT. So basically, other bidders were trying to look for a buy and sell. So basically, the money will go back into their pockets, so they buy and sell. So, and it's a contract, it's a 5-year contract that we offered, basically to build it, operate it for 5 years, and then transfer it back to the government
Oh, okay.
to look after. But hopefully it will be extended after 5 years, because we know government is never good with business. They're only good at collecting revenue.
Yeah.
But then once they start doing business, so what I'm saying to
I
them
didn't
is...
say that, you said it.
Yeah, no. Well, so what I'm saying is, after the 5 years, I'm sure they will extend it, because I'm sure we're doing a great job. I'm not lazy in the fact that I go around, if I even randomly, I just stop people and ask them, what do you think of this new number plate? Not knowing that it's our company that's actually producing it, just to get customer feedback. And then sometimes I even go to our printing stations and I actually stand outside and just wait for customers to come out and just ask them, oh, what do you think of the service? Because I wanted to go and acquire a number plate just to get a feedback. So if they don't know who you are, and then they can actually talk and interact with you on a level,
and
at least you'll appreciate the fact that you're actually doing good. But we're not resting on
And that's genuine feedback.
Yes.
That's real
Exactly.
feedback.
So, and we're not resting on our laurels, because what we want to do is we want to improve more. The service has to be a lot better than it is. As much as people, because I have people call me, send number plate, how long is it going to take? I was like, if you're the first person to go in there, it won't take 10 minutes.
Right.
And then they'll be like, whoa. And then I was like, we actually want it to be a lot quicker than that.
Right.
Because that's what we want. For some of us that had the pleasure of actually living abroad, you go to McDonald's, they tell you 2 minutes on the queue, 1 minute on the counter. So they want to serve you in 3 minutes. So that's the kind of mentality that we should try and bring there. Because I was fortunate enough to work for McDonald's during my college years, and stuff like that. So I can understand that. So saying that, this is real quality that we've actually brought to the Gambian people, and I hope they will appreciate it. I will appeal to every Gambian: just go and change your old number plate, because that will fade. And then these new ones, at least your vehicle will be secure as well. Because if it's stolen, we can flag it on the system. So if the police the traffic officers are anywhere doing their checkpoints, they can easily intercept your vehicle before it actually leaves the country. So that's what I'll say to our people.
Actually, something came up the day of the press release. I was thinking, because is it that these ones are going to go obsolete at some point, or is it that they're going to go out of the system? Is that... Because I think there's a high probability, you're smiling, you're cracking a smile. I think there's a high probability that this is going to push
the old ones out.
The old ones out. Because Gambia, hang on in your man, everybody just jump at it.
Yeah.
Because almost you don't see, I think mostly you see the taxes with mostly nowadays, you see the taxes with the plastic ones. Is that what this would turn out to be at some point?
Well, that's what we want.
Or would there be a point where it would be your must to have this?
Okay, there's a sensitive issue with regard to that, because we all know a number plate has no expiry date.
Yeah.
So
what are you saying?
So if you have an old number plate, it's not guaranteed that you have to change to the new one. But what we can do as a company, we will tell you the features and what the benefits of having this new number plate. But eventually it's going to go out of the old one. When it starts fading, I'm sure the police will tell you to change it. Because the police...
But they've never said that before. It's never been the case where they stop you like, hey, your number plate is fading, you got to change it.
But I think now they will start doing it, because before the problem that they had was there was no number plates, because the police were supposed to issue...
There was no option.
Yes, and the police were supposed to issue these number plates, and they were not actually producing it.
Right.
So they couldn't actually... You see cars that actually write their number plates with paint.
Yeah.
And they were actually allowed to go around and go to anywhere they want, unless they want to travel to Senegal, because they won't accept you writing your number plate on using a paint. But eventually, the old number plates will go, they're out of fashion already anyway. So these new number plates come with added security for you, the vehicle owner. Because if I had a vehicle and I owned a vehicle, I would want my vehicle
And it makes
to
the
be
vehicle
secure.
look good.
It does, exactly.
It pimps it up.
Exactly.
It makes it look really good.
So I think if the taxi, like you say, the taxi drivers, maybe they have to be forced in a way to change it.
Yes.
But I'm sure with the new stickers, this is a security feature. So this might be something that the police will look at, and they'll be like, every vehicle has to have that sticker.
Yeah, I'm thinking that as well.
And the sticker comes with the number plate. We don't charge you for the sticker. All you have to do is pay for the number plate, and we will give you a number plate and the sticker. So basically, I think it will be enforced in time, but rather than wait for that time to happen, just go and pay easily, because you paying as well is you contributing to the Gambian economy, because for every number plate that we sell...
And doing yourself a big favor as well.
Yes. For every number plate we sell, 40% of it goes to the government already.
That's true.
So basically, you're actually doing something good if you look at it. If you go and change your number plate, it's not like you're putting money into Comfort's pocket. Remember, Comfort has to do all this investment.
Yeah, but it's still going in your pocket.
But the investment, like you said, 20 million is not a small amount of money.
Yes.
And so, and regarding that, the amount of money that we will be making for the Gambian government as well. So for every number plate you see around town, don't look at it as Comfort is having money. Look at it, the government's having money.
You both have money.
No, because what we only have to look at, we have to buy the raw materials, the importation, and you know the world market uses a dollar as currency. And you know in Gambia, the currency fluctuates, it goes up and down. So that doesn't affect the government. They still get their fixed 40%, but we have to pay the difference.
Right.
So in actual fact, by the time operational cost and with all the items that are actually involved in the business, so we're not actually getting 60%. It goes down to about 30-35%.
It goes down to maybe 50, 55, you know.
So if you look at it that way, so there's a lot of expenditure in this, because we want the best. So we've sourced out a high quality product for Gambian people to be proud of. And basically that's what we want. Even if the Gambian people, everyone gets a number plate and then we lose in the end, we're satisfied. At least we've done our bit. At least that's what we're looking at.
I'm going to ask a quick question before we go on a second break. How important is this? How important it is for people to get this?
It is very, very important.
Get the concept, I mean, not to get it, that's another thing, but just to get the concept and the idea of it. How important is it?
I think people have to understand the world is changing. And with changes comes a lot of expenses. And we all know that Gambia 20 years ago and now, 20 years ago was a lot cheaper. So we have a product here. We haven't actually increased anything with regards to the price.
Right.
It's just that we're giving you something more secure, that's high quality. So you just have to understand, as a motorist or a car owner or a motorcycle owner, you want your product or your investment to be secure. So it's like you having a house and you offered insurance, content insurance or building insurance, and you say you turn it down and the next day it catches fire. You'll only have yourself to blame. So what we want you to do is secure your vehicles. Just pay $1,100. It's not a just, but at least for that amount, you could actually have a number plate that will actually, your details will be securely kept. So in future, and we have a lot of disputes with Gambia where he sold me that car and he's not actually the owner.
All right.
So all that can be eradicated, because on our system we have transfers, we have personalized number plates, and then what will happen is if you come to us to sell a vehicle, because you come with that person to do a transfer, easily we can look on the system and we'll know who the actual owner is, and it can be traceable as well. So it is very important. It
is very important. We're going to go for our second break. When we come back, we'll chat some more. And I have a story that I'm going to share with you that I wish this was in place when that happened. So don't go anywhere.
Okay, thank you.
One nation, 8 tribes. We are the smiling coast of Africa. Gap-toothed, wide smile, rich melanin skin, radiant with the colors of a rich tapestry of cultures, telling one story of unity and beauty. Wrapped in the soft folds of a mother's sir, a Khalifa's grambuba, we embody the past of our ancestors and the promise of our descendants. Follow the records of our history, this story that tells of a people watered by the river in the gleaming sun of a coastal nation. Listen to the folk tales, those old tales we grew up on. Lebon, Lupain, Amon Nafi, Danam. Hear the music of an entire nation in the language of its heart and mother tongue. Our tongues are heavy with the song of our people. Rich and thick it rolls off like domoda, soft like yasa, bena chinla, nyokomom. Feel the beat of our pounding feet as we dance to the sounds of a throbbing drum, ageless in its rhythm. The griot's kora that speaks the wisdom of the ages. The sweet sound of a mother's lullaby bringing even sweeter sleep. We clap a melody with young and old hands, a symphony full of the pleasures of life, the joys of work and home. We are Gambian. Bi suñu cosaan la, suñu dëkk, suñu bos.
Your favorite mobile service has done it again. Now you can buy cash power with your Q Money account free of charge. Yes, you heard me right. For free. Nothing is cheaper than free. So start buying your cash power from the comfort of your homes with unbeatable services Q Money has to offer. With Q Money, life is easy. Visit your nearest Q Money agent to cash in or call customer care on 133 for more information. Don't forget to wash your hands with soap after handling cash. Stay home, stay clean, stay safe. Q Money. Suñu kalpe. We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back to the show. I'm still here with Mr. Usman Jai, Operations Manager from Comfort Qualities. The story I was going to tell you was that 4 years ago, we had a car in the house, my father's car.
Okay.
And what happened was we woke up in the morning. We had a driver that was with us for months. He was there for months. He was like family. He just woke up. The car was supposed to go for maintenance. Then go to you put them the So he woke up, took the car, yobu ko si mechanic put the farko, sma pa ewo call ko. Fan nga neka, man si mechanic when you get the farko to be paregot, sma pa ne okay, you call ko an hour later. Phone neka, mang Elton man ko rahas. Yeah, we called again, mechanic bi. Muna sma pa koku nyod feed it. Koku, he didn't come here today at all. My dad was like, really? We start panicking, looking. And when we called Africell, they traced his number. And you realize the time he was talking to my dad, when we get back out doing the car, he was actually crossing, leaving the country with my dad's car.
Yeah.
So he didn't know what to Senegal and went. There was no way we could trace this car. And last minute in the evening, we spoke to somebody around, I think somewhere in Basse or something. They said he drove all the way there. He had an issue where he stopped at the police with his laissez-passer thing, ECOWAS card. He was there for an hour. But after they let him go.
Wow.
Up till today, that car disappeared. Since 2015. It was a Toyota RAV4.
So there you
So
go.
if this was then...
It would have been intercepted
very easily.
easily.
I know, that's
very
what I'm
easily.
saying. I just thought about that.
Yeah, it would have been.
So there's a little question as well when it comes to number platey with the... I saw that there's different colors to it.
Yes.
You have the white. I love the white. If I was going to get, I'll get the white. And then there's... I saw like kind of yellowish. And then there's blue. Is it the colors of the font that's different, or is it the background of the plate? And you have the long and the short ones.
Yeah. For now, all the backgrounds are white.
Okay.
So, and then you'll have different colors. That's the hot stamping. So for private individuals, you'll have the black one, the ones you see around mostly. So for diplomatic number plates, as we all know, they used to have green. So those are the ones that you put a green hot stamp on them. So you'll see the white background, but you'll see a green.
What did the green signify?
The green is for diplomats.
Oh, okay.
And then you'll have the red. The red is for fire service and the technical
emergency,
assistance.
like,
so those ones. And then the blue ones are for NGOs.
Okay. Yeah.
But how it works is we don't just print for anyone. Because previously you have anyone that can just come and say, I want to, or just go to a private company and just do a red number plate and just drive around town with it, nothing's been said, or a blue that is
because you fancy like
that.
that.
Yeah, because you want it to be. But actually these things are very significant because they mean something.
Yes.
And a diplomatic number plate actually gives you the opportunity to drive from country to country, and you'll have a privileged access and stuff like that. So these things have to be taken into account. We have systems in place. If anyone that comes in and you say, I want a diplomatic number plate, especially if it's a replacement, we normally ask you to bring the old number plate back.
For verification.
And if it's a diplomat, we'll tell you to deal with foreign affairs. They will write you a letter. And then you'll come to us and then we can just confirm it. Okay. So we don't have problems with that.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good. So the process seems to be quite straightforward. Does partnering with the Gambia Police Force and the Ministry of Interior,
yes.
Isn't it like an important ingredient, or was it a deliberate ingredient on your company's part as a safety or control mechanism measure?
Because in the tender document, what you see is it's actually the police that actually are giving us the contract. The Ministry of Interior is actually overseeing the contract.
Of course,
and make sure the implementation part and stuff like that is done properly. And then we have finance, Ministry of Finance again, because there's money involved. So we have to, it's a necessity, and that's how the contract was stated from the onset. So basically, partnering with the police, it makes life so much easier for us. Because you know why? Because when we go, we have to operate from police stations. And every police station has a licensing department. So these are the licensing department, these are the areas that we use. And then because there's a transfer of knowledge as well, actually agreed on the contract. So we work with the police. So when you go to our printing stations at the police station, actually you'll see the customer service attendant is a police officer. And then the people doing the data entry, they're police officers, just so that they can verify the document that has been presented. And then from our end, it'll be easier. All we have to do is just print. So we'll have them, if you come, maybe it's the uniform that differentiates them, but if you didn't actually, if they all came working in normal clothing, you won't actually be, you won't know the difference between a police officer or someone that's working for us, because what you'll find is we all work together in tandem, and just we make sure everyone does their roles and duties and what they're supposed to do, and then it's all done properly, and then we all serve the Gambian people as a community, as a company, sorry.
Yeah. So the mounting process of the plates, what does one have to do if they want this? Because I know there's a payment method where you have to go to the bank. Can you explain that, please?
Okay. Basically, what you have to do is you go to the bank, you take your ID, national and an identity document, to actually to prove that you're paying, or you are who you say you are.
Right.
So, and then you go to the bank and then you pay $1,100 for a vehicle, and then you pay $630 for a motorcycle. So when you pay at the bank, when you go, you fill in a pay-in slip, like as they do as a normal bank transaction. So you're not any bank, you go to Trust Bank.
Right.
So Trust Bank will issue you an e-receipt. If it's for a vehicle, there's a unique reference number that's captured on the receipt. So that unique reference number, once you make a payment, is captured into our system already. So we know someone has paid.
That quick?
Yes. They work in a bank portal, because bank is all digital. So once you pay, it's captured. So we know Mr. So-and-so.
How does it learn, Richard? Boom, it's in there. You capture.
We know Mr. So-and-so has actually paid. So basically, we're just waiting for you now to go to our stations where we actually do our production. Just go, you present it. By then, the reference number on your receipt is already in the system.
Yeah.
So all we have to do is follow due process, check your registration details. If you're doing a replacement from your old number to the new number, maybe you have to bring a copy of your insurance. So at least we'll be able to verify. And then you'll have to, maybe now, because with the stickers enforced, you have to come with the chassis number of the vehicle, because we need information from the vehicle as well. So we want you to fill a form, so at least we can capture all this information that we can actually put on the QR code.
Right.
So it'll be easier for us. So instead of us printing a number plate for you and there's something, vital information that is missing, we try to avoid that. So basically that's why what we want is when you go to our printing places, just whatever you ask to bring, just make sure you come with it. So the insurance, if it's a new vehicle, we all know you have to do the custom entry, and then all.
It's a whole new,
so
different
it's a whole
story.
different thing. So the replacements, we do get a lot of them. A lot of people want to change their number plates from the old ones to the new ones. So we're trying to make it so very easy for them. We just need to capture certain information so that it will be easier for us to be able to print a QR sticker for you. So that sticker will actually secure your vehicle. So the extra 5 minutes, maybe you'll wait. It's worth it.
I like the fact that the last time when you were speaking about your services, you were talking about the customer care and how it's so comfortable for people to come in and enjoy the AC, drink some water.
And these are all things that we actually did as comfort.
Investment, yes.
It's a police station. We could have just gone and just operated, but we actually changed the whole.
Do you have a place mounted just for this?
Yes, we
in the police station.
Yes.
In this, like you said, Carabar
Police Station. When you go in, we have an office there. We renovated, fitted ACs, seating area, everything is new. And then we did the same thing at Banjul.
Right.
And then at Birkama we did the same thing. And then we have Farafenye and Basse. So these places also we will, because the offices there, they're really, really old.
Right.
We
Renovations.
we just want to put a touch on it and then just make it look very modern. We'll fit it with ACs and stuff like that. Especially Basse is really hot. So we even have the option to build, because some police stations, because they're designed to do certain functions, so maybe we don't have the space to actually do what we want to do. Especially, for example, Basse. Basse is known for having loads of motorcycles. So
really?
Yes, we have a lot of motorcycle customers from Basse.
Is it like Mali?
Yeah. So the most popular transportation there is motorcycles.
Oh, wow.
When you go there, you'll find for every 50 motorcycles, you see 2 vehicles.
Wow.
So so at least we'll want, we would have loved to have more space in Basse, but maybe this is something that we can look at. We have the option to build. The option is there as well. I'm sure they'll give us that space. And then we just want this to be something that's so easy to get, and then it's comfortable for you as a customer, because what you don't want is you go to a place and then it's cramped up. There's so many people
and
waiting, and
time.
people are complaining, and you know how it is when Gambia network is down and stuff like that. We avoid all that. We've invested with an ISP
Those things
provider.
can make or break your service.
We've invested in an ISP provider, which is though expensive, but we know this is something that we have to make sure every Gambian.
All these terms you're using, what was that term? What does it mean? You said something just now. What system did you just say now that you're using to make it easy? You actually forgot it. Okay, that brings me to another term, which is the quick response system, which is a QR system.
Yes.
Is it easy to be tampered with? How secure is it? Because I remember when we came there, somebody said, what if you put it in a car and then and stuff, you know?
Yes.
So how secure is that?
Yeah, because that guy said about, I don't expect kids to play in cars. But
well,
they
do.
It happens. But the sticker, because when you stick it, it actually stays flat.
What does a sticker do? What is it for?
The sticker is for added security on the vehicle. So basically, you have information that the police can access. So the police can just look at your number plate and they say you have a number plate.
Right.
And they know the vehicle is a Mercedes, for example. But with what the sticker does with the scanner, if they scan it, actually they'll have more information. So just in case a car is stolen or the number plate is actually stopped.
Oh, you didn't pay your tax?
Yes.
Ouch.
Now the tax, the GRA will have to come up with that. So if the GRA, I think we'll find ways to integrate our system.
Right.
So at least all the information, vehicle management system, like I said from the start, is very broad.
Yes.
So there's so many things that can be added. So the GRA we can work with, insurance companies we can work with, and we can have an integrated system where one scan reveals everything. And then I think that will be very, very important for Gambia motorists and motorcycle users as a whole.
So, but how durable is it?
The sticker?
The sticker.
Oh, I was talking about the sticker. See, I ventured into something else.
It's fine.
So it's one of these things. The sticker is tamper-proof.
Okay.
Once you start to, because even the agents now, because when we're giving it to you, at Carabao we're blessed with space. So we ask drivers to actually come, and then we will stick it for them. But we do explain to you that once it's on your windscreen, you can't take it off. Once you start taking it, it starts breaking in pieces. So that means you won't have that sticker anymore.
It breaks in pieces?
Yes, because that's the security feature. Because when you put it on, if you try to take it off, it's void. You see void printed all over your windscreen. So at least police know that this has been tampered with.
Okay.
So that, which is very important, because we know, especially with the sunlight, wear and tear, in Gambia, Africa especially, you have to consider that factor. So we've actually, when we were designing the sticker, we took all that into consideration. The manufacturer was actually instructed that we wanted something that can withstand up to 60 degrees centigrade.
Yes.
60 degrees Celsius. At least we know Gambia doesn't get that hot, but it's humid. So the humid part of it as well plays a role into whatever products that we have. At least you can see.
And the exposure, it could be that it could be that hot.
Yes. So we wanted something between 60 to 80 degrees. It can withstand it. And then he said, "Don't worry, we'll give you something that you can withstand 100 degrees."
Okay.
So we're like, "Oh, fair enough. That's what we're looking for. Even we're just trying to say 60 or 80 to be more reasonable. But if you can do up to that, it's fine." And then they came up with this idea, it has to be tamper-proof, because otherwise people will just take it out, take out that number plate and stick it onto another vehicle.
Of course.
But what we do is, because with this QR sticker now, it has your SASE number. If the police need extra verification, they can actually physically check for that. And then the number plate, at least you know it cannot be moved. If they scan it, they can actually look. If the number plate is not what it says it is, then they have their own legal ways of doing things.
Right.
So I think it's very important.
I'm glad that you guys are big on security. You're big on
it has
security.
To be. It has
it's
to be,
really
because we're dealing with the police, and we need to find ways for them to make their jobs easier
as well.
And it has to be effective, and it has to be something that will be here for generations. Basically, something that we all know it's working. We've seen that it's working, but there's only layers and stuff that can be added on top of it. At least it'll make it worthy.
I want to ask one question before we go for our last break. Is it deliberate? Because I see that in some countries, when pricing anything that has to do with a car, be it a number plate or anything, it is charged based on the car model and the year and stuff. Because we have luxury cars here.
Yes.
We have cars that are like old-time 1950s, like run-down cars. Why do you have a standard price for all vehicles?
Oh, okay, because that's why I think the luxury you have with regards to number plates, you personalize it.
Yes.
So I know to me personally, I even think it's cheap what we were charging for personalized vehicles. It was 5,000 initially. I think it says it's a luxury. I've seen a number plate sold in Japan for 8 million because it has number 8 on it.
So?
Is that
What's
crazy?
the number 8?
It's a lucky number to Japanese
Oh, yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah.
And then there is in England, there's 250,000 on an auction because the car says ARS51 NAL, so it translates as Arsenal.
Yeah.
And then so for things like that. So I think it should be a privilege. At least we should see, if you see Ndey Oley Taal driving with Ndey Oley Taal 1 on it, you know Ndey Oley Taal has really paid for that. You know, I think it should be that.
Yeah.
So, but this is something that we don't establish, we don't determine the price. So it is something that, because we bid it for a certain amount. So with any other extra amount that's actually added on it, that will be something to come from the government, unfortunately. If it was left to us, because personalization goes with a lot of changes and stuff like that. Because we all know BJL.
Then it becomes very bespoke.
Yes.
Yeah. Asks for a lot of
So I think with regards to that, and this is something the government can look into and make sure the price is a bit higher. And then we can all benefit from it. So if you want, it's luxurious. So if you want the Oley Taal 1, or if you want
with rhinestones
or if you want the fake Ndey one, so you can have all that on there. So you can.
I know who you're trying to rub the wrong way, but I'm not going to get into it. We're going to go for a break. When we come back, we go to the final segment of the show. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to the show. I'm still here with Mr. Usman Jai, and he's feeding us with so much information. I didn't think I was going to have this fun because I thought it was going to be so serious,
Oh, no,
you know?
no.
But this is so nice and relaxing, you know.
Thank you for
So
having us. Thank you.
Yeah, we're teaching people, but I'm learning as well from
That's
this.
good, that's good.
So there's no doubt that what Comfort Quality is doing is a game-changing move. What would you like the Gambian people, the Gambian public, to get when it comes to the concept? Because I think sometimes we're very, then they had a day. You know, we're very reluctant sometimes to change. We're such comfortable people.
I know.
You know, we don't like change that much. Sometimes where you have to be skeptical first.
Yeah.
You know, this is something I think that we're not supposed to be skeptical about. It's
Yes,
a very
yes.
nice welcome.
And funny enough, I have a lot of my friends because I feel like when someone is too, and these are people maybe they have a little bit of money, they can just go and actually can pay for actually 10 cars, but they're like, I'm not changing my number plate because these are my old coaching because stuff like that, because maybe they have avenues and ways to be able to challenge that. But you have to look at the bigger picture. This is something, it's for the Gambian people. So, and if you pay for a number plate, it secures your car, sense that the details are captured accurately, and then for future reference as well, it will help when you have to sell your car, to transfer it and stuff like that. It will be easily done. And then you don't have to wait for someone to do something before you can actually do it. When there's a product out there, when there's something new and everyone is talking about it, instead of just finding out why people are talking about it, you go and actually get the same thing and you see, appreciate the quality of it. A lot of investment and expertise and hard work and dedication has gone into making sure this thing works. So my appeal to all Gambian people is, especially vehicle owners and motorists, and mostly the police officers on the road, just be vigilant. I'm sure the police will want to be able to identify every vehicle that actually drives past it. If you see a faded plate or broken plate, something that you can't read, it's not even secure enough. It's not safe. That driver can actually go and do anything, and then they can actually get away with it. Because we have 100,000 Mercedes, one maybe C-class Benzes do as taxis. So there's 2 of them without a proper number plate. If they hit and run, how are you going to be able to identify them? So we have to look at these things into perspective, because it protects you, me, and everyone. Because not everyone is privileged to have a car, but at least you can walk on the road and know that, look,
you're safe.
Yeah, if I'm hit, at least there are repercussions to this, and this person can be easily identified. We need to take things like this into perspective, and this is secure. And for security aspect of it as well, you being a vehicle owner, you go and spend 500,000 on a vehicle. I'm sure you wouldn't want to have this old number plate where the system is gradually we're still inputting the old forms that we're given by the police. Unfortunately, it's very time consuming. It takes a lot of time and then what we come to realize, most of these forms are incomplete. You'll have a form, there's certain details missing,
Oh, wow.
you won't be able to trace that person. There's no telephone number, you can't call them.
Yeah.
So we only rely on them to come forward and actually change their number plate. And then when you come, oh, we've captured you in the system, but we didn't have this detail, that detail, that detail. And then we'll just add that onto it. So these are certain challenges that we have. So to the Gambian people, go and get a new number plate. There's nothing nicer than having this number beaming in front of your car. I've seen it in your car. You have one, right?
Maybe.
I saw it when I was coming. So, and you have a nice number plate beaming, and then the security part of it as well. So at least secure your vehicle, and then just basically contribute to the development of the Gambia, because most of the money is going to them anyway. I say most of it so that you understand.
Yes.
So most of the money is going to the government. So I'm sure they'll be happy to have every Gambian on that. So just get it going. Let's just move forward, and then we will come up with so many things in regards to. We have 5 years. I guarantee you, I'll be here again, and I'll tell you what new future we have. What have we added to this? And
You
then
should add a future where if you don't have a seatbelt on, or if you just put your seatbelt on, like a second before you get to the police, it goes like, boop. I know people who do that.
No. What we will do is, I think especially in vehicle management, now we're doing these stickers. The next thing we can do is RFID chips, where the police all they have to do is just stand in one corner.
Some people are not going to like this.
And then every vehicle that's going past, and then the police will be able to see.
Seatbelt offenders, seatbelt offenders, seatbelt offenders.
So there's so many things that we'll come up with, hopefully, before the end of these 5 years, and we will add so many products, and there's so many things that we can do with this electronic vehicle management system. The one we designed is far better than what any other one designed. So I'm sure they all wanted. It's easy to say electronic. I'll have a server, I'll design a spreadsheet or an Excel, I'll just put it and store it in there. But we've actually gone on the next level. I'm sure ours is more sophisticated than the one they have at Senegal. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Guinea-Bissau, we've done a survey around. So the Guinea-Bissau don't have it, Sierra Leone don't have it. So these are all places that can actually learn from us.
Yeah.
So within the sub-region, and maybe in the future.
Possibly, yeah. Collaborate and do it like
and then
the
at least
joint.
we have ECOWAS. So maybe in the future, ECOWAS will be like, you know what, let's uniform all this, so at least we'll be able to trace any vehicle within the whole sub-region, not only the Gambia. So there's a long way. There's a long way where these things can go to. So I'm sure a lot of things can happen.
What's next for comfort quality?
Next for comfort quality service is decentralization. We want to expand every corner of the Gambia. We want every Gambian to be able to...
Domination.
Yes.
You're gonna dominate.
And then we'll have offices everywhere, even if you live in the remotest village in the Gambia.
Because somebody asked that question
yes,
as well.
if you live in the remotest village in the Gambia, you'll be able to just go to the nearest town around you, and then there will be a registration office there for you to have a motorcycle or a vehicle, if you're privileged enough to have a vehicle, and then you'll have a vehicle number plate, and then you'll be legally allowed to drive anywhere you want to go to.
I have two questions that I was going to ask in front, but I wanted to hear what you're saying first before I get there. The first one is it just limited to vehicles like cars and motorcycles? Because there are other forms of vehicle as well.
Is it vehicles and motorcycles? That's what the contract says, but the other sources, the tricycles,
Yeah.
they're all part of it. It's vehicle management. If you
Okay.
say vehicle is broad, so anything basically with legs, apart from bicycles.
And humans.
And humans, yeah. So apart from bicycles and humans, I'm sure, even if bicycles, I was thinking maybe we can find a way to come up with something. Maybe they'll have stickers and stuff.
Yes,
but
yeah.
But that's for another day. But
Yeah,
hopefully.
Another time.
Yeah.
Yes. So thank you so much, Mr. Ndey, for coming. This has been very educative
Thank you
and
for having me.
enlightening.
Thank you for having me.
What would you want to leave our viewers with? The viewers of the show, would you want to leave them with your parting words from you?
My parting words is, let's support our own. Our company is fully Gambian, and the support you giving us is basically making sure that this thing works, and so especially from the police and the Ministry of Interior. It is very important because as partnership goes, and they've been our partners in this contract, just find a way to just work
together
as we are
as
now.
one, yeah.
We have a very good relationship with them actually. So they support us in most of our endeavors and whatever it is that we do, because they support us with staff, and there's a lot of requirements that are actually needed for this thing to be effective and for it to be a success. Our success is their success, at least, and they're putting money into the government that is unbudgeted for. So this is extra money that the government is actually receiving.
Right.
At the end of the day, the Ministry of Finance can turn around and say, the police can actually say, look, we've made this amount of money for you, and that's only coming from vehicle registrations and motorcycle registration.
Right.
So this is something that let's all support each other and make sure this works properly, and then forget about the infights and the rumors and the audios.
There's a lot of it.
Yeah, people
There's a lot of
audios
it.
and stuff like that.
Doesn't those things put you?
It does. No. You know what it does? It makes us more determined to make this work.
Right.
So I think part of, because you got everything you do, everyone won't love you. You'll have people that will actually be just negative. But the more negative they are, what that does to us, it drives
I think
us.
it's just being afraid of change,
Yes,
not being
yes,
sure
yes, yes.
as well sometimes.
Yeah, so all the negative energy or the feedbacks we're getting from, maybe if we have any actually with regards to the audios that go around, that people talk about, these number plates are not good, this number plate. But we know the majority of the Gambian people appreciate this. It's coming from Senegal, far-fetched. All these are fake news. So what that does to us, we just make sure operationally we're doing what we're supposed to. And then the rest of it, we'll just let the Gambian people decide whether the product that we're giving them.
I think they've decided.
Exactly.
The numbers,
So get your number plates. That's
yeah,
what I'll
the
say. Get
numbers
your
are
number
talking
plate.
for themselves.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
Mr.
for
Osman
having me.
Jai,
Thank
and
you
we're
for having
wishing you comfort qualities, the very best.
Thank you.
To our viewers, I'm sure this has answered a lot of questions, and we've learned a lot from this interview. On my part, I've enjoyed this.
Thank you. I've enjoyed it too.
I hope you have.
I have actually. Because you guys just made me kept on talking, so I would have.
You love to talk,
I-
by the way.
Actually, I appear shy to start with, but afterwards I just keep going. So
It has been great. Thank you
it's been
so
great.
much
Thanks
for
having me.
coming.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. On that note, we'll leave you, and we love you, and we'll see you soon with another guest, hopefully very, very soon. Thank you.